All right, how you doing, man?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. All right. Do we need to do any? I know you said we can ask anything, but do we need to go over any guidelines or anything before we start doing the interview, or do you want to talk about anything?
No, no. But what I want to know is is this no cursing and stuff like that? I
No,
want to know that before.
you can curse as much as you want. If I need to delete anything, bleep anything, I will. Same thing, like I said.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like,
yeah. I want to make sure that you don't have to do too much edit. So.
Oh no! It's fine. It's fine. This is raw. This is raw.
Okay. All right.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Rude Boy, for gracing us with your presence over the phone. If I know you don't know too much about Whoop Times 2, I don't think. Maybe not. But it's me, myself, Mr. J, and Crimson Juggalo. Snarl. I can't even pronounce it right. So how do you pronounce it, Crimson?
Snorlax.
Snorlax.
Snorlax. Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't even pronounce it. But yeah, I know I said something to you on Facebook about this, but I do want to bring this up again because I want to say that this was. I know you. So I'm sorry. I'm kind of tripping here, but the first time that you had actually called me and it tripped me out because I was working at UPS and you called me, and this was after the whole seeds crap and all this other stuff, but you knew that I was a hard worker and shit, and you called me and I picked up the phone and you're all like, hey, what's up, Johnny C? I was like, who is this? Because I didn't know who the fuck it was. He was like, this is Rude Boy. I was like, whatever, and I hung up the phone. And you called back, and I think I hung up one more time, but then the next time you're like, no, this is Rude Boy from Psychopathic Records. Do not hang up. I was like, okay. I was like something. I think I asked you something, and then he was like, I remember you said remember at such and such or something. I don't remember what you said, something like that. And I was like, oh, okay. So then we started talking about you wanted me to do a promo for Psychopathic at the time for the Esham Repentance tour. Yeah, and if I will say this, if that would not have happened, I probably would not have continued doing the majority of the shit that I had been doing after that. I mean, yeah, I just wanted to say that because, if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't have stayed in the game that long doing shit. And I appreciate
then I should probably apologize. I'm sorry for keeping you in the game like that. No, you know what, John? I've known you a long time. You've always been a stand-up guy. You've always been somebody who I've always looked up to. And you also taught me my very first magic trick, too. So that was very cool. And which, by the way, I still have that dollar bill to this day. True story.
Okay, well, guess what? I don't remember what the fuck
you're
talking about.
True story.
True story. That's what dollar bill magic trick was that?
Dude, you gave me this trick dollar, and see, now I'm giving out the thing, and I'm still using that. I'm still using this trick to this day. But anyways, long story short, man, you showed me this thing, and I was like, oh man, that's dope, man. And then you were like, here, and you gave it to me, and you just gave it to me. And I still have that very same dollar to this day. True story. This was one of these novelty trick things, and I'm just glad that I still get to school people with. Even in 2020, I could still school people with this silly dollar bill. But anyways, man, back to this. Before we go any further, it's my pleasure to be here. I'm thankful that, you guys still want to talk to me after all these years. I think it's very cool. I want to thank you guys for the wonderful gifts you sent. And more than that, it's 2020, and we're still alive and we're still kicking it, man. And that's a good thing, man. that's a good thing. You know?
Very, very much so. I want to know, like, what have you been doing? I guess for the past, I know you haven't done a lot as much as you did 20 years ago. You know, because you were everywhere. Like, what are you up to now?
Well, as everyone knows, you know, I have a nice, successful radio show with DJ Carlito, my son, and it's called Cruisin The Barrio, and it can be found on Cave Radio Broadcasting, which is a free app, crbradio.com, Friday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard, 7 p.m. Pacific West Coast. And what it is, it's pretty much like an old school oldies show, and we just play some old jams and we reminisce, and every so often we'll have some weird guests on. I mean, like, we've had like anyone from, you know, of course, Esham to Ray Parker Jr. He's been on with us. So I mean, you know, you never know who's going to be on Cruisin The Barrio, and we're very much in tie to them. We also run wrestling shows here in Detroit called International Big Time Wrestling, which we actually started filming our first television tapings, where TV is going to be available for International Big Time Wrestling on Fight TV Network, which we're real proud of. We're real excited about it. And, you know, on top of that, you know, we also are part of an organization, Chicano Revolution, where we basically we clothe and we feed hungry and homeless. We also teach the youth. We teach the youth, you know, respect, and we teach them truth. We teach the youth truth that what you're reading in a textbook isn't always necessarily the truth, especially when the textbooks were written by those who tried to keep certain minorities down at that time. I mean, look, there's no secret here. How do you discover this land when you're Christopher Columbus, when there were millions and millions of people still that were here way before then? And we teach that, but we also teach that the kids don't go to school and wild out and, you know, find out, but we also teach them to ask questions and to in a very respectful way challenge their teachers, challenge their principals, challenge those bullshit textbooks, you know, because they were full of lies. And until we know our past, how can we even begin to go in our future? So that's what my passion is right now. Of course, I still do things with Psychopathic. You know, you'll see us actually Cruisin The Barrio for the third year in a row. This year we're going to be opening the Gathering of The Juggalos again, and we're going to be closing the Gathering of The Juggalos. Because Judge Steady knows we're the hypest party in the world, and there's only one way to get it started, and there's only one way to send you home, and we're real proud of that. So as much as you don't see me a lot, John, in recent memory, I'm still a lot working, I swear.
All right.
Well, I just want to follow up with that, you know, teaching the youth, like, our history. And the Watchmen show, I don't know if you've seen that, that was on HBO recently, where they did the Black Wall Street thing, where they actually destroyed Oklahoma City. And a lot of people didn't even realize that that's our actual history. It wasn't made up for the show. You know, like, white people bombed them because they were getting too powerful. And it got...
What's the name of that show? I'm sorry, brother, but what's the name of that show?
Watchmen. It's about
I gotta look that up because I haven't seen it. I gotta look it up. It's a series, you said?
Yeah, it's a series on HBO, and it was based on a comic book series. It was popular in the 80s and 90s. They made a movie in 2009, I believe. It's it opens your eyes to our history, and the winners write history has always been the same. So if you win,
sure.
you can say what you want. Like, oh, we went and killed these people because they were coming in and raping and murdering us. No, man, they were over there just, killing. And then you wanted to, and then you went over and killed them because you wanted what they had. They had a lake,
right,
and they had farms already set up, so you went and killed them. But you wrote the history to reflect what you wanted to be, and do the narrative. And I'm surprised a lot of people watch that show. They're like, man, that's crazy. Why would they make this up? And then people are like, they didn't make this up. They actually did destroy parts of Oklahoma City back in the early 1900s because it was like Black Wall Street. A lot of black entrepreneurs, when they went out west, they started investing money, and the real Wall Street was afraid of them. They were afraid of them, to get in power. And
sure.
It's just like I said, man. I try to educate my children. Don't believe everything is in the textbooks. It's
right.
And yeah, it's like there's things that happen that they don't want to tell you, and just keep an open mind on things. Not.
Well, yeah, I agree with you 100%. Like, you can't be closed-minded in this world. Especially now. Now, man, we're living in the times of, man. I mean, come on, man. We got a lunatic in the White House, bro. We straight up have a lunatic running the free world. And you couldn't write this in a movie if you possibly wanted to. So, I mean, it's very important that we educate ourselves and that we, more than that, understand one another. It's very important to understand one another. And, look, I'm not going to sit here and get all political, but I am going to say this. If you don't like what's going on in the world today, then in November you need to get your ass out and vote, man. You got to do it. You can't sit back and just say, man, I wish the world would change. Bullshit. Get out there and change it. It's up to us to do that. And especially cats in the underground, especially cats in the Juggalo world. Get your ass out and make a difference, man. Get out there and do it. If not, then don't bitch about it.
Yeah. Just don't sit back and complain. Make change.
Right.
Whew, yeah, I feel you. You know what? I didn't vote for that dude, but I can tell you, a lot of people fucking flipped once they realized this dude was fucking up to the extreme point that he's doing. I mean, the shit that he's doing now, it's like so trippy, and we can't. It's like it seems like we can't do nothing about it because he got off of he got acquitted. And then, and then immediately afterwards, he let a bunch of people out of prison. I don't know if you've seen that in the news.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Yeah. I did. And it was all his people and stuff, And here's the thing that's the most scariest to me about the whole presidency of Donald Trump is that, some of my closest neighbors and closest friends and people that I thought, had straight love for me and for who I was, and me being a Chicano Mexican American, I found that when he came in power, all of a sudden those people that I thought I knew, I never did know, because these are the same ones that are telling that are backing him 100% and telling my friends, neighbors, and family to go back to where they come from. And I'm like, whoa, I thought I knew you. But I didn't, because you were just this closet racist that I didn't know. But now that this guy is in power, now you feel as though you've got the power to say and do what you want. And I'm also the same kind of guy that says, don't let your president get your ass kicked either. Because I don't have a problem doing that either. I'm not going to be disrespected.
Yes, I totally understand that shit. Hey, I want. Before we sort of leave the political topic here, I want to address this too. I don't care. It's fine when people have their rebel flags and stuff like that, because I know some people actually are representing. They're trying to represent their Southern heritage or whatever. But some people are some people are trying to be. Some people are blatantly racist with that shit. But then, or trying to be, you know, blatant just assholes and to fuck with people.
Right.
But
right.
I've heard this a lot, and I've heard I've heard people in St. Louis saying shit too. It's like, oh, these, you know, Mexicans are taking their jobs, or whoever, you know, blah blah, people are taking their jobs. And like I brought this up to some friends, you know, months ago when I saw this shit. So I was in Florida now, and I have to explain this to people who don't know this. At Walmart, because I worked at Walmart for a really long time, and whenever they would do inventory, they do inventory once a year or something like that. They bring in 30 people to do inventory of the whole store, of each store, and each store gets 30 people to do inventory. But when I was in Florida, they had somebody doing they were doing inventory, but guess what? It was a fucking machine. One fucking machine took 30 jobs right there, and nobody's fucking saying shit about it. Okay. Not only that, you go to any Walmart now, how many fucking self-checkout lanes are fucking open? That's more jobs right there.
Yeah. That's right. Well, you know, here's one of the things that, you know, you got to watch what you ask for. You got to watch what you wish for, because there's a candidate who's running on the $15 an hour minimum wage thing. Now, you can pass that law all you like. You can do that, in which I believe that these corporate companies can afford $15 an hour. However, I've been in some Taco Bells where now it's self-serve Taco Bells, where they're like, okay, so you want $15 an hour? Well, watch this. This machine doesn't take shit. Boom. So you gotta. It's very, very. You know, if you're gonna start a revolution, you better be able to live and die by that revolution. Meaning, excuse me, guys. $15 an hour, you better be able to say, damn it, I'm willing to accept nothing to fight for that $15 an hour. And once again, let me stress when I say this. I do believe that every man and woman deserves $15 an hour minimum wage, bar none, in this corporate world that we live in, where McDonald's, you know, on a yearly gross takes in, you know, $50 billion. Come on, man. $15 an hour ain't shit to a company like that. But they'd rather still gouge you and give you $7.50 an hour. And that's not fair. You know, that's not fair.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the cost of living's went up a bunch, but the wages haven't gone up. You know,
of course, I keep hearing Donald Trump talk about how, you know, so many jobs were, you know, people got jobs during his administration. Well, of course, because the people I know had to have 2 or 3 jobs to make ends meet. So, of course, they've got a lot of jobs, man, of course. And they still ain't got enough to survive.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Let's light it up.
All right. Okay. Let's light it up. All right. Hey, when's the last time you were in the ring, and do you miss being in the ring?
Next time on As the Whoop Turns.
My last time was in the ring when I was beating up Violent J just a few months ago at the Gathering of the Juggalos. They coerced me to come out of retirement, and me and Violent J, we had a nice feud going, and all of the Juggalos were like, Violent J's gonna kill you, Rudy, you had open heart surgery, and blah, 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 blah. And then at the Gathering of the Juggalos in Indiana, after I beat him up,
whoop, whoop, times two.